Mm, I've seen things. I've seen things. I will never unsee things. Hello and welcome to another movie review. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of Cats. What the fuck was that? Okay, calm down, calm down. We can talk about this rationally. It's a movie that is cats. It's a movie of cats. It's very horny cats singing about something. Okay, all jokes aside, this was probably one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen get greenlit by a major studio. Like, what the fuck? I've never actually seen the original play. However, I am well aware of all of its music because I was in a music department for a very long time. I know pretty much all of the instrumentals of this, and I'll say I even like the instrumentals of this. But honestly, the only song that I knew any of the words for was "Memories all alone in the moonlight," all that stuff, because everyone's made fun of it and their dog. So I have no idea if this is very accurate to the play. All I know is the music was accurate to it, and God, this is not something you want to take anybody to, especially kids. Like, real talk here. Why was every single trailer for this movie a kids' film? Like, legitimately, I had like Onward, we had Soul, we had pretty much every single Disney animated film as the trailer for this. Why would you associate that with a bunch of horny cats trying to fuck into reincarnation? I wish I was exaggerating that, but I'm really not. And honestly, there was a part of me that says I kind of want to recommend this to people because it's one of those what the fucks that just needs to be experienced. But at the same time, I don't want to subject anybody to that. So I just. The way they decided to do the cats in this is horrifying. We all basically saw that from the trailer, and it is much worse in person, especially when they start playing with their tails in very suggestive ways. To quote another reviewer on this one, porn next year is going to be very interesting. But with all that said, let's actually talk about the movie itself and the very, very few good things I'll say it did. Pretty much the only good thing I'll say inside of this movie is that Idris Elba is apparently awesome enough that he can survive a crap shit fest like this. Idris Elba as this villain, McCready, I think. I honestly am blocking part of his name out of my mind, so I'm just going to call him Idris Elba. He's a cat who wants to earn his resurrection into the Heaven Side Club, as it's called, by basically taking out the other competition. They all do their song and dance numbers. At the end of them, he shows up and he teleports them off onto, the cornfield so that they'll never be there to compete. Thus, he's the only contestant. He gets reincarnated. Also, he did something to Jennifer Hudson cat that's left very, very vague, and it's implied rape, I guess. Again, perfect kids film material right here, guys. How the fuck did this get a PG rating? I don't get that. And I will say that this movie was bold. Okay, I'll give this movie 100% credit. It was a bold move to do this movie, especially the way they did it. But apparently, Tom Hooper, you just stuck with it. You held on to those guns, and you just marched forward, and you pushed this thing out there. And I gotta give you credit for the balls. I'll give you credit for the balls. With that said, let's go into the bad, and this movie. Enough. See you next week. I wish I could do that, but no, it's just the CGI on this is horrifying. It's just as bad as it looks in the trailer, and in some shots it's even worse because it's very clear the actors are not on any of these sets. It is the most jarring thing when you notice it, but at first you're not going to notice it. What you're going to notice is that a foot here or a foot there seems like it slides a little too too much on this supposed, gravel road or something like that. It's just this little, like, small movement of a foot or a dance step where it seems like they slid a little bit. But then about 20 minutes in, you're going to notice that nobody's touching the ground. In fact, the shadows in particular are just a little bit bigger to try to fool the eye here. And in a musical whose sole point is its dance numbers, let's be honest, you can say whatever you want about Cats, but the play's appeal, even I, someone who's never seen it before, can tell you, are the dance sequences. So to have those dance sequences where it's very clear that they are CGI'd into the scene and nobody is actually on the ground dancing, it is the most jarring thing. It almost forgives how horrid their makeup CGI catsuit bodies are. No. When they're dancing, it is just, what the fuck is going on? Sometimes they do this well and it looks great. There's a tap dance sequence inside of it that looks perfectly fine, and it's a good change of pace. However, in every other sequence when they are just dancing normally and doing their ballerina moves, this is so jarring. It is so weird to see these cats flying on the ground or hovering just about an inch off of it while they're doing all this shit. And it's just obnoxious. Also, this is a movie about horny cats who really want to fuck each other into reincarnation, because that is never going to go away. That summation of this movie is more than enough to say that this should be rated R, but nope, it's rated PG. It's perfectly fine for families, guys. All these cats, all these people, furries, doing rubs with themselves and playing with their tails. Damn it, I knocked over my movie. Even Liz and the Bluebird doesn't want to see this shit. Oh, and we might as well talk about the actual acting from pretty much everybody, including Judi Dench, who, I'm sorry, why did you give Judi Dench a singing part? Like, Judi Dench can't hold a note. Ian McKellen surprisingly did really good with his kind of talk singing number that he did, but Judi Dench should not have been allowed to sing in this, and she gets the final song. It's bad. And everyone just like gyrating and humping each other. These actors, I feel bad for them because I can tell that there's some really good dance choreography going on, but they can't get past the directing, which does not focus on any of it ever. Shooting dance numbers should come with the same kind of criteria that shooting, say, an action sequence should come. There should be a lot of wide shots, but there should be some movement with those shots. There should be some good medium length where you do focus in on a single person while he's doing something, and you don't focus in on the cats in the back gyrating and fucking each other. You should focus on what you should focus on. Don't do extreme close-ups and don't do extreme wides. You want to get a big scale of what's going on with very minimal cuts. Like, you could seriously set up a fucking clock, and every 5 seconds there's a freaking cut. There's no shot that lasts longer than 5 seconds inside of this before they cut to an extreme close-up of a face or a big wide shot that shows everybody extreme close-up, wide shot, extreme close-up, wide shot, and pretty much everything is set up like that. And when they're on actual CGI-created rooms, it looks horrible. It's shit green screen. Oh, but the biggest problem with this is that there's no plot. There's none. Like, a new cat shows up and the other cats are singing about this reincarnation process, and then each of the candidates sings their song. That's it. That is literally the plot. That is it for 2 hours. Every song bleeds into each other, and they're mixed like La La Land and Greatest Showman. You can't tell what the fuck they're saying half the time. The best song inside of this is, the memories all alone in the moonlight, that thing, because they strip it down to one person, and Jennifer Hudson can fucking sing. I loved you inside of Dreamgirls over there, but here, this is the worst freaking use of your talents. I don't know why you said yes to this. But I am done. I am so fucking done. I can't talk about this anymore. I can't think about this anymore. So, I mean, you probably think that with all of this, this is the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life, and it's horrible, and you probably would be right. But I've seen worse musicals than this. I've seen more offensive musicals than this. I've seen things. And this is definitely one of those things, but not for all of the reasons that people are probably going to make it out to be. I joke a lot about, all of this and the craziness that happens on this, and it should be noted that this is definitely one of the more crazy things out there. However, I can't necessarily say that I didn't see some of the subtlety of things in the songs. When they did actually focus on a dance here or there, it's a lot of really good interpretive dancing. I'd actually be on board for seeing the play, because I think the spectacle of the sets and the dancing would overcome the fact that it's about a bunch of horny cats wanting to fuck into reincarnation. And this movie is a testament that not everything should be adapted. That is definitely true. However, I'm kind of glad it got adapted, because we needed a bad like this. This is a fascinating bad. This is one of those bads that you could sit there and dissect hidden meanings, hidden sexual orientations, all that stuff. You could dissect things out of this, and they'd all be bad, but again, they'd be fascinating. While a lot of people would think that I would recommend that this gets a skip it or fuck it, part of me wants to say wait for Netflix, because it's one of those fascinating bads that if you get a group of people together and just get some booze, you guys might actually enjoy this. But who am I kidding? I'm going to give it a fuck it, because this was a horrible piece of shit. Fuck this movie. Fuck this entire idea. Andrew Lloyd Webber, keep your kink stuff behind closed doors where it belongs, okay? I don't need to know about your furry fetishes. And that's it for me. Did you enjoy the video? Have you seen Cats? Either the play or the movie. Tell me what you thought about them in the comments down below. Let's get some healthy discussion going. And as always, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. All of those things help my channel grow, so that one day I might actually be able to make a career out of this, and that would be perfectly fine with me. Hell, I'd even accept if it just made its money back. Also, I do stream pretty consistently on Thursdays at 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, that's it for me, so I guess I'll see you all next time.